The text came at 6:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was already awake, already on my second cup of coffee, already reviewing contracts for a deal that would close later that week. My husband Derek was in the shower, singing off-key to something from the 80s. Normal morning, normal life. Then my phone buzzed. "Mom, we need to talk about Brooke. She has a new business opportunity and needs investors. Call me." I stared at the screen for a long moment, took a sip of coffee, set the phone face down on the counter. 5 minutes later, another buzz. "Mom, this is important, Paige. Don't ignore me." I kept ignoring her. By the time Derek came downstairs, there were 7 messages, each one more insistent than the last. Each one demanding I call, demanding I listen, demanding I do something about a situation that had nothing to do with me. "Your mom?" Derek asked, glancing at my phone as it buzzed again. "Brooke needs money." Again. He didn't say anything, just poured his coffee and sat down across from me, waiting. "They want me to invest in her new startup, whatever that means this time." "How much?" She hasn't said yet, but knowing Brooke, it's not going to be small. Derek nodded slowly. He'd been with me long enough to know the pattern. The asks that started reasonable and escalated, the guilt trips that followed the refusals, the silence that came when I held firm, lasting exactly until Brooke needed something again. "What are you going to do?" "Nothing. I'm going to do nothing." My phone buzzed again. I turned it off. The thing about my family is that there are 2 versions of our story. In my parents' version, they were fair and loving to both their daughters. They supported us equally, encouraged us equally, wanted the best for us equally. Any differences in outcome were due to circumstances beyond their control. Bad luck, bad timing, the unfairness of a world that rewarded some people and punished others for no discernible reason. In the real version, they picked a favorite the day Brooke was born, and they never stopped picking her. I was 7 when my sister arrived, old enough to notice the shift, young enough to think I'd done something wrong. Suddenly, nothing I did was quite good enough. My grades were excellent, but Brooke's first words were exceptional. My piano recitals were nice, but Brooke's finger paintings were artistic genius. By high school, the disparity had become financial. Brooke got a car for her 16th birthday. I got a lecture about responsibility and a bus pass. Brooke got a credit card with no limit. I got a part-time job at a grocery store. Brooke got a full ride to any college she wanted. Not a scholarship, just my parents writing checks. I got a speech about how paying your own way builds character. I believed them at first, believed that struggling was somehow noble, that the obstacles they placed in my path were actually gifts designed to make me stronger. I worked 3 jobs through college, tutoring, waitressing, night shifts at a call center, and graduated with honors and $60,000 in student debt. Brooke dropped out junior year, said college wasn't for her, moved back home and spent 2 years finding herself, which apparently meant shopping, traveling, and running through the trust fund my grandparents had left her. When the trust fund ran out, my parents funded her first business, a boutique selling overpriced candles and home decor. It lasted 8 months. They funded her second business too, an influencer marketing agency that never signed a single client. That one lasted 4 months. Each failure was explained away. The market wasn't ready. The timing was wrong. Brooke just needed the right opportunity. Meanwhile, I was paying off student loans, building a career, saving every penny I could. By 32, I'd made partner at my consulting firm. By 35, I'd paid off my debt and bought a house. By 38, I had a retirement account, an investment portfolio, and a life that I'd built entirely on my own. My parents never once said they were proud of me, but they called plenty when Brooke needed something. The phone call came 3 days after the texts. I'd been avoiding my mother's messages, responding only with brief variations of "I'm busy" and "we'll talk later." But she'd escalated to calling my office, leaving messages with my assistant, making herself impossible to ignore. So I called her back, during my lunch break from the privacy of my car, where I could hang up if things got ugly. Finally, my mother said when she picked up, "I've been trying to reach you for days. I've been working. Some of us have jobs." The jab landed, but she ignored it. "Your sister has an incredible opportunity, a wellness app. It's going to be huge. Everyone's into health and mindfulness now. She just needs some startup capital to get it off the ground. How much? 200,000. I laughed. Actually laughed. Loud enough that my mother went silent on the other end. $200,000 for a wellness app. From a woman who's never successfully run a business in her life. That's not fair, Paige. Brooke has learned from her mistakes. She's more mature now, more focused. She's 40 years old. She's been more mature and more focused for her entire adult life, and she's failed at everything she's touched. Those weren't failures. Those were learning experiences. Mom, she lost $300,000 of your money in less than 2 years. At what point does a learning experience become a pattern? Silence. Then, in a voice I knew too well, the voice that meant I was about to be punished for speaking the truth. Your father and I have done everything for you girls. Everything. And this is how you repay us? By refusing to help your own sister? You haven't done everything for me. You've done everything for Brooke. I paid my own way through college while you wrote her tuition checks. I worked 3 jobs while she partied. I built my career from nothing while you funded her failures. That's not... It is. It's exactly what happened. And we both know it. The difference is that I stopped pretending otherwise a long time ago. My mother's voice hardened. We expected this kind of attitude from you. You've always been jealous of your sister. I'm not jealous of Brooke. I pity her. She's never had to work for anything, so she doesn't know how. And every time she fails, you bail her out. So she never learns. You've crippled her, Mom. You and Dad. And now you want me to help you do it again. I don't have to listen to this. Then hang up. But my answer is no. I'm not giving Brooke $200,000. I'm not giving her $200. If she wants to start a business, she can do what I did. Work for it. I hung up before she could respond. The threatening texts started a week later. Not from my mother this time. From my father. Dad, your mother is devastated by your cruelty. You've torn this family apart with your selfishness. Dad, Brooke's opportunity is time-sensitive. If she misses this window, it's on you. Dad, we've given you everything, and you won't even help your own sister. We should have known you'd turn out this way. I didn't respond to any of them, just screenshotted each one and saved it to a folder on my phone. Then came the threat. Dad, your mother and I have consulted with an attorney. If you continue to withhold support from this family, we will pursue legal action for emotional damages and intentional infliction of distress. You have caused immeasurable harm to your mother and sister. We expect a response within 48 hours. I read it 3 times to make sure I understood. My parents were threatening to sue me for not giving my sister $200,000. Derek found me sitting at the kitchen table, staring at my phone, laughing in a way that wasn't quite sane. What happened? I showed him the text. His face went through several expressions: confusion, disbelief, something that looked like rage, before settling on grim amusement. They can't actually sue you for that. I know. That's not a real thing. Emotional damages for not funding your sister's startup? I know. So what are you going to do? I thought about it. All the years of being second best, second choice, second everything. All the times I'd kept quiet to keep the peace, swallowed my anger to avoid conflict, pretended the favoritism didn't hurt because acknowledging it hurt even more. I was done. I'm going to forward this to Marcus. Derek raised his eyebrows. Let's take a quick break from the story. Behind every story on this channel, there are hours of work and a whole lot of love. To help us keep doing what we do, we've put together something special. A collection of brand new stories created with this community in mind. If you'd like to support the channel and take some of that magic with you, scan the QR code on your screen. Your support keeps this channel alive. All right, back to the story. Marcus Chen was our lawyer, a friend from college who'd built one of the most successful litigation practices in the city. He handled corporate disputes, high-stakes negotiations, the kind of cases that made headlines. He was also, as Derek well knew, absolutely ruthless when provoked. You sure you want to escalate this? They escalated it. I'm just responding. I forwarded the texts that night. All of them. The demands, the guilt trips, the threats. Along with a brief message. My parents are threatening to sue me for not giving my sister money. What are my options? Marcus called me the next morning. Please tell me you're joking. I wish I was. Paige, this is genuinely insane. You understand there's no legal basis for this whatsoever, right? You can't sue someone for not giving you money they were never obligated to give. I know, but they don't seem to know that. Who's their attorney? I want to call them directly and explain how badly they're about to embarrass themselves. I don't know if they actually have one. The text said they consulted with an attorney, but that could mean anything. Marcus was quiet for a moment. What do you want to do here? I can send them a cease and desist, make it clear that any legal action would be frivolous and subject to sanctions. That usually ends things. What's the alternative? The alternative is we wait for them to actually file something, which I doubt they will because no reputable attorney would take this case. And then we countersue for harassment, abuse of process, and anything else I can make stick. We put them through the same hell they're trying to put you through, except we actually have grounds. That seems excessive, does it? These people have been treating you like garbage your entire life. They threatened to sue you for not funding your sister's vanity project. At what point do you stop being the bigger person and start being the person who fights back? I didn't have an answer for that. Let me think about it, I said. Send the cease and desist for now. We'll see how they respond. The cease and desist went out on a Friday. By Saturday, my phone was exploding. Mom, how dare you involve lawyers in a family matter? Mom, this is between us, not strangers. Mom, your father is furious. Mom, you've always been difficult, but this is a new low. Mom, Brooke is in tears. Dad, you think you're so smart bringing in attorneys. Let me tell you something. We have resources you don't know about. This isn't over. Brooke, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I thought you were my sister. I thought family meant something to you. You're going to ruin my life over money? I read each message, screenshotted each one, added them to the folder. Then I called Marcus. They're not backing down. I can see that. I'm CC'd on some very entertaining emails from someone claiming to be their legal counsel. He paused. Paige, this attorney they hired? He's not actually licensed in this state. I checked. He's some kind of business consultant who apparently gives legal advice on the side. So they're paying someone who isn't even a lawyer to threaten me with lawsuits? It appears that way. Which, ironically, is something we could actually sue them for. Unauthorized practice of law is a serious offense. I sat down heavily on my couch. This was spiraling in ways I hadn't anticipated. What do you recommend? Honestly, I think we need to have a real conversation with your parents. Not about Brooke's startup. About the pattern. The favoritism. The financial disparity. The emotional manipulation. Put it all on the table with documentation. And give them one chance to acknowledge reality before we pursue legal remedies. You think that will work? No, but it will establish a record. And when this eventually goes to court, which it might, because your parents seem determined to make bad decisions, we'll have proof that we tried to resolve it reasonably. When you say documentation, I mean everything. Every text, every email, every piece of evidence that shows how differently they've treated you and your sister. Bank statements if you can get them. Testimony from people who witnessed the favoritism. A complete picture of what you've been dealing with. I thought about what that would mean. Laying out decades of hurt, cataloging every slight, quantifying the inequality I'd spent my whole life trying to ignore. It sounded exhausting. It also sounded necessary. Okay, I said. Let's do it. The documentation took 3 weeks to compile. I reached out to my Uncle Neil, my father's brother, who'd always been quietly uncomfortable with how I was treated. He agreed to provide a statement about what he'd observed over the years. I pulled my own financial records, student loan statements, pay stubs from the 3 jobs I'd worked in college, tax returns showing my income climbing slowly while I built my career. I contacted my college's financial aid office and obtained records of my applications for scholarships and grants. Applications I'd filed because my parents refused to fill out the FAFSA, refused to contribute anything to my education. And I compiled the texts, years of them, saved on old phones and in cloud backups. My mother asking for money for Brooke, my father guilting me for being selfish. The pattern, undeniable in black and white. Marcus reviewed everything and called me with a summary. This is comprehensive and damning. Your parents put significantly less into your upbringing than your sisters. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in disparity. And the communication pattern shows clear favoritism and emotional manipulation. So what now? Now we request a meeting. Neutral location. Attorneys present. We lay out what we have and give them a chance to respond. And if they don't respond well, then we file. Not the frivolous lawsuit they threatened. A real one. Breach of fiduciary duty during your minority, since they were legally obligated to support you equally and demonstrably didn't. Intentional infliction of emotional distress, based on the documented pattern of favoritism and manipulation, and harassment, based on recent communications. Can we actually win that? The breach of fiduciary duty is a stretch. Statute of limitations is probably expired. But the other claims? Yes, we can win. And even if we don't win everything, we can make the process extremely uncomfortable for them. That's not really what I want. What do you want, Paige? I thought about it. Really thought. For the first time since this whole mess started. I want them to admit it. I want them to look at the evidence and acknowledge what they did. I don't need an apology. I know I'm never getting one. But I want them to stop pretending it didn't happen. I want them to stop acting like I owe them something when they're the ones who failed me. Then let's get you that meeting. The meeting was held at Marcus's office. My parents arrived with their attorney, a nervous-looking man in an ill-fitting suit who seemed to realize about 30 seconds into the meeting that he was severely out of his depth. Brooke came too. I hadn't expected that, but there she was, sitting between our parents, looking at me like I was a stranger who'd wandered into her life to cause trouble. Marcus laid out the documentation calmly, professionally. The financial records, the communications, Uncle Neil's statement. The complete picture of a family that had chosen one daughter over another, consistently and deliberately, for 4 decades. My parents' faces cycled through denial, anger, and something that almost looked like shame. "This is ridiculous," my father finally said. "We treated you girls the same. If Brooke got more, it's because she needed more. She needed more because you never taught her to need less," I said. "You funded every failure, cushioned every fall, made sure she never had to face consequences. And now she's 40 years old and can't function without someone else's money. That's not fair," Brooke started. "Isn't it? How much have you earned in your life, Brooke? Not been given, earned, through your own work, your own effort." She didn't answer. "I've earned every dollar I have, every single one. While you were dropping out of college, I was working 3 jobs. While you were blowing through your trust fund, I was paying off student loans. While you were failing at businesses with other people's money, I was building a career. We didn't ask to be born into different circumstances. We weren't born into different circumstances. We were raised into them. Mom and Dad decided you were worth investing in and I wasn't. That was their choice. And now they want me to fund your latest failure with money I earned despite them, not because of them." The room was silent. My mother spoke first. "We never meant to hurt you, Paige. But you did. You hurt me every time you paid for Brooke and not for me. Every time you praised her and ignored me. Every time you made it clear that she was the daughter you wanted and I was the one you got stuck with. That's not true. It is true. It's documented. It's witnessed. It's real." I stood up. "I'm not asking for an apology. I know you're not capable of giving one. But I am telling you that this stops now. No more requests for money. No more guilt trips. No more threats. If you contact me again about funding Brooke, about emotional damages, about anything except a genuine desire to have a relationship based on mutual respect, I will pursue every legal option available to me." I looked at Marcus. He nodded. "And I will win." My father's face had gone red. "You think you can threaten us? After everything we've done for you? You've done nothing for me. That's the whole point. I did everything for myself, and I did it without your help, without your money, without your support. I don't need anything from you. I never did. I gathered my things. But you apparently need something from me, and my answer is no. Now and forever. No." I walked out without looking back. The aftermath was quieter than I expected. No lawsuit, no further threats, just silence. The kind of silence that comes when people finally understand that their bluff has been called. Brooke's startup never happened. Without my investment and without our parents' money, which had apparently run lower than anyone realized, she couldn't get it off the ground. Last I heard, she was working at a retail store, her first real job at 41. My parents sold their house, downsized to a condo in a cheaper neighborhood. The lifestyle they'd maintained for decades, funded partly by credit they shouldn't have had, finally caught up with them. Uncle Neil called me a few months after the meeting. "Your father's not speaking to me," he said. Apparently my statement was a betrayal. "I'm sorry. Don't be. It was the truth. Someone needed to say it." He paused. "I'm proud of you, Paige, for standing up for yourself, for refusing to keep playing a game you were always going to lose. It doesn't feel like winning. It's not supposed to. Winning against your own family isn't triumphant. It's just necessary. Sometimes you have to burn down what's broken before you can build something better." I thought about that a lot. Derek and I have a good life. A great life, actually. Built on our own work, our own choices, our own values. We don't see my parents. They've never apologized, never acknowledged what they did, never made any attempt to repair what they broke. Some relationships aren't meant to be saved. Some family bonds aren't worth the cost of maintaining them. Brooke reached out once, about a year after everything fell apart. A text message late at night that just said, "I'm sorry. I didn't know how bad it was for you. I should have seen it." I didn't respond right away. Thought about it for days, actually. Whether there was anything left to salvage, whether she was capable of real change, whether I even wanted to find out. Eventually, I wrote back, "Thank you for saying that. I'm not ready to talk yet, but maybe someday." Someday hasn't come yet. Maybe it never will. Or maybe, years from now, we'll find our way back to something that looks like sisterhood. For now, I'm focused on the family I chose. Derek, our friends, the life we've built together, brick by brick, dollar by dollar, without anyone's help but our own. The folder of screenshots is still on my phone. I look at it sometimes, not out of anger anymore, but as a reminder of what I survived, of what I overcame, of the moment I finally stopped accepting treatment I didn't deserve. My parents thought they could threaten me into submission, thought that invoking lawyers and emotional damages would scare me into compliance, the way their disapproval had always scared me before. They were wrong. I forwarded their texts to my lawyer, and I got my life back. That's the only victory that matters. Thank you for watching today's story. Every time you watch, comment, and share, it means the world to us. And now there's one more way you can support this channel. We've been working on a collection of brand new stories that we put our heart into. If you'd like to check them out, scan the QR code on screen or visit the link in the pinned comment. Your support helps us more than you know. See you next time.